Train your brain, make more money. Good evening, everyone. When I was running high-stakes poker games for some of the wealthiest, most influential people in the world, I had a front row seat to their minds at work. I saw the way they thought, the risks they took, and the discipline they brought to the table. And let me tell you, their wealth wasn't an accident, it was the byproduct of years of training their minds to see opportunities others missed. But here's the thing, training your brain to make more money isn't about luck, connections, or even talent. It's about how you choose to think every single day. 1. Reprogram your beliefs. The first step, reprogramming the beliefs you've been carrying about money. For years, I told myself that financial success was for other people, that it required access to resources or advantages I didn't have. Sound familiar? But one day I realized the real barrier wasn't out there, it was in here. Point to head. If you tell yourself you're not capable, your brain will make sure that's true. So flip the script. Start seeing money as something you're worthy of, something you can learn to attract. 2. Build mental toughness. Now, I'll admit I didn't always play by the rules, but I'll tell you what I did right. I trained my brain to endure discomfort. When I was running poker games, I worked 17-hour days. I dealt with egos, legal threats, and impossible demands. What kept me going wasn't luck or genius, it was grit. Your brain is like a muscle. If you want it to work harder, you've got to put it under stress. Learn to delay gratification, make sacrifices, and stay focused when things get tough. That's the kind of mindset that turns ideas into income. 3. See opportunities others don't. Here's a secret I learned from billionaires sitting at my tables. They don't wait for opportunities to knock, they build the door. Your brain is your most valuable asset. Train it to see patterns, trends, and gaps. When I started my poker business, I didn't just see cards and chips, I saw a network. I saw relationships, power dynamics, and possibilities. I took what I learned and turned it into a lucrative business. And you can do the same in your own field. Ask yourself, what's the need no one is addressing? What's the value you can add? Start thinking like a problem solver and money will follow. 4. Take calculated risks. Money doesn't flow to the cautious, it flows to the bold. But bold doesn't mean reckless. The most successful people I've met are masters at balancing risk and reward. Train your brain to assess risk with clarity. Study the market, do your homework, and when you've done the work, trust yourself enough to take the leap. Fear is natural, but don't let it paralyze you. Every big financial win starts with a moment of courage. 5. Stay accountable. Here's the part, no one likes to talk about accountability. For a long time, I avoided it. I blamed others for my failures, for my legal troubles, for everything that went wrong in my life. But the truth is, I made those decisions. I played those hands. If you want to make more money, hold yourself accountable. Track your habits, your spending, your time. Be brutally honest with yourself about what's working and what isn't. When you own your choices, you take control of your outcomes. Train it to think bigger. Train it to work harder. Train it to see what others can't. And when you do that, when you sharpen your focus, reprogram your beliefs, and refuse to settle, you won't just make more money. You'll create a life you're proud of. Because success isn't about what you have, it's about who you become. For many of us, the way we think about money is shaped by the experiences and messages we've absorbed over the years. Maybe you grew up hearing things like money doesn't grow on trees or rich people are greedy. Maybe you've told yourself that financial success is for other people, people with the right connections, the right education, or the right timing. These beliefs take root, and over time they shape our decisions, our risks, and ultimately our results. But the truth is, money isn't reserved for a select few. It's a resource like any other that flows to those who understand it, respect it, and position themselves to attract it. The first step in achieving that is challenging the stories you've been telling yourself. Instead of thinking, I'll never have enough, start asking, what do I need to learn to earn more? Instead of saying, I'm just not good with money, reframe it to, I can develop the skills I need. Your brain is incredibly powerful. It believes whatever you tell it repeatedly. If you say money is out of your reach, your brain will focus on the obstacles. If you start believing money is something you're worthy of, your brain will start finding opportunities. It's not magic, it's focus, and focus drives action. Reprogramming your beliefs about money isn't about blind optimism or pretending challenges don't exist. It's about shifting your mindset from scarcity to possibility. When you believe wealth is achievable, you start acting in alignment with that belief. You take more risks, you learn more skills, you seek out opportunities, and that's when the doors begin to open. Building mental toughness starts with understanding that discomfort and challenges are not your enemies, they are the tools that shape resilience and success. Most people shy away from difficulty because it feels uncomfortable, but the truth is, growth never happens in your comfort zone. If you want to train your brain to handle the pressure of building wealth or achieving big goals, you have to start seeing obstacles as opportunities to grow stronger. Think of your brain like a muscle. Just as you wouldn't expect to lift heavy weights at the gym without consistent training, you can't expect your mind to handle the stresses of success without putting it through challenges. Mental toughness is developed by facing discomfort head-on and learning to navigate it with discipline and focus. It's about staying calm and collected when things don't go as planned, instead of letting setbacks derail you. Delaying gratification is one of the hardest yet most powerful habits you can build. It's the ability to sacrifice short-term pleasures for long-term rewards. This doesn't mean you deny yourself completely, it means you recognize what truly matters and commit to it. Whether it's saving money instead of spending it impulsively or dedicating hours to learning a new skill instead of choosing easy distractions, mental toughness is what keeps you on track when the temptation to quit feels overwhelming. Pressure is inevitable in any pursuit of success, but your response to it is what sets you apart. Instead of crumbling under stress, use it as fuel to stay focused. Break challenges into smaller, manageable steps. Develop routines and habits that keep you disciplined even when motivation wanes. And most importantly, remind yourself why you started in the first place. The more you train yourself to push through discomfort, the stronger your mind becomes. Over time, things that once seemed difficult will feel natural. Mental toughness isn't a talent you're born with, it's a skill you build through consistent effort and an unwavering commitment to your goals. Seeing opportunities where others don't starts with training your mind to look beyond the obvious. Most people go through life focused on the surface, what's immediately in front of them, what's already been done, or what seems safe. But the people who create extraordinary success are the ones who train their brains to notice what others overlook: patterns, trends, and gaps that reveal untapped potential. This kind of thinking requires curiosity. Instead of accepting the way things are, start asking questions. Why does this work the way it does? What could be done differently? Where are people struggling? Every unmet need is an opportunity waiting for someone to solve it. And that someone could be you. The key is to shift your mindset from being a passive observer to an active problem solver. Think about the world around you as a series of systems. Each system, whether it's a business, a market, or even a personal interaction, has strengths and weaknesses. Train your mind to analyze these systems. Where are the inefficiencies? What's missing? What's changing that others haven't fully noticed yet? The ability to spot these nuances is what allows you to step into a space where there's little competition but high demand. It's also about connecting the dots. Sometimes the opportunity isn't obvious because it's not sitting right in front of you. It's in the overlap between two seemingly unrelated ideas or industries. The most innovative thinkers don't just see what is they imagine what could be. They take what they know, combine it with what they've learned, and create something entirely new. Creating value means stepping into these spaces with confidence and offering something that solves a problem, fills a need, or improves an experience. It doesn't have to be revolutionary at first, it just has to be useful. The more you focus on understanding and serving your audience, the more opportunities you'll uncover. Opportunities aren't just stumbled upon, they're created by those who have trained their minds to see beyond limitations and into possibilities. Taking calculated risks is an essential part of growth and success, but it's not about jumping into the unknown blindly. It's about understanding the difference between reckless decisions and intentional, informed actions. When you embrace risk, you're stepping into uncertainty, but that doesn't mean you're unprepared. It means you've done your homework, evaluated the possible outcomes, and decided the reward is worth the challenge. Preparation is what turns risk into opportunity. Before taking a leap, gather as much information as you can. Research the industry, study the market, and learn from those who have succeeded and failed before you. The more you understand the landscape, the better equipped you'll be to navigate it. Calculated risks require a solid foundation built on knowledge, strategy, and a clear understanding of your goals. But preparation alone isn't enough. At some point, you have to trust yourself to act boldly. There will always be reasons to hesitate, fear of failure, doubt in your abilities, or a temptation to wait for the perfect time. The truth is, there's no such thing as the perfect moment. Success comes to those who are willing to take the leap, even when everything doesn't feel completely certain. The key is balance. Don't let fear paralyze you, but don't let excitement blind you either. Weigh the risks against the potential rewards. Ask yourself, what's the worst case scenario, and can I handle it? What's the best case scenario, and is it worth pursuing? When you approach risk with this level of clarity, you're not just gambling, you're making an informed decision to move forward. Every great achievement starts with a moment of courage. Calculated risks push you beyond your comfort zone, forcing you to grow, adapt, and find solutions. And even if things don't go exactly as planned, the lessons you gain from taking that risk are often more valuable than staying safe. The willingness to act, even in uncertainty, is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Strengthening your focus is about training your mind to stay locked in on what truly matters, even when distractions and temptations try to pull you away. In today's world where notifications, endless scrolling, and quick fixes dominate our attention, focus has become one of the most valuable skills you can cultivate. It's not just about working harder, it's about working smarter, directing your energy toward tasks and goals that create meaningful progress. Discipline is at the core of focus. It's the ability to make the tough choices every day, choosing the harder, more meaningful work over the easier, less impactful options. It's about understanding that every time you say yes to a distraction, you're saying no to your goals. Strengthening your focus means building habits that support your priorities, whether that's carving out uninterrupted time for deep work, setting clear boundaries, or developing routines that keep you productive. Progress doesn't happen in bursts of inspiration, it's the result of consistent effort over time. Commit to taking steps forward every day, no matter how small they may seem. Focus isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. When you train your brain to value steady progress, you'll find that the momentum you build carries you further than relying on short-lived motivation. Avoiding distractions isn't just about turning off your phone or blocking out noise. It's about training your mind to stay present in the moment, fully engaged with the task at hand. When your focus is sharp, your work becomes more efficient, your decisions become clearer, and your path to success becomes less cluttered. Strengthen your focus by aligning your daily actions with your bigger vision, and you'll discover that the progress you make isn't just faster, it's more meaningful. Staying accountable means taking full ownership of your actions, decisions, and outcomes. It's about recognizing that where you are today is a result of the choices you've made up until now, both good and bad. Accountability isn't about blaming yourself for mistakes, it's about empowering yourself to learn from them and make better decisions moving forward. When you accept responsibility for your life, you take control of your future. One of the most effective ways to stay accountable is by tracking your habits, spending, and time. These are the building blocks of success. And if you're not paying attention to them, it's easy to let opportunities slip through the cracks. Are your daily habits moving you closer to your goals or further away? Is your spending aligned with your financial priorities, or is it driven by impulse? Are you using your time effectively, or is it being lost to distractions? Honest answers to these questions are key to staying on track. Accountability requires brutal honesty with yourself. It's not always easy to look at your own behavior and admit when you've fallen short, but this kind of self-awareness is what creates growth. It's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent. Set clear goals and benchmarks, and check in with yourself regularly to measure your progress. Celebrate the wins, no matter how small, but also take responsibility for the missteps. This practice of accountability doesn't just keep you focused, it builds trust in yourself. When you know you're capable of following through on your commitments, your confidence grows. And with confidence comes the ability to take on bigger challenges and pursue even greater success. Accountability isn't a burden, it's a tool that empowers you to stay aligned with your vision and create long-term success. Thinking bigger begins with breaking free from the limitations you've placed on yourself. Most people operate within the boundaries of what feels safe, what seems realistic, or what others have told them is possible. But if you want to achieve extraordinary success, you have to challenge yourself to aim higher. It's about refusing to settle for what's convenient or comfortable and daring to imagine a future that exceeds your current circumstances. When you think bigger, you train your mind to see beyond the immediate obstacles. It's easy to get caught up in short-term challenges and lose sight of the bigger picture. Thinking bigger doesn't mean ignoring the difficulties, it means seeing them for what they are, stepping stones, not roadblocks. This mindset allows you to reframe problems as opportunities and focus on the long-term potential rather than the temporary setbacks. Expanding your vision requires you to ask yourself tough but important questions. What do you really want to achieve? What would your life look like if there were no limits? And perhaps most importantly, what's stopping you from pursuing those goals? Often the greatest barriers are not external, they're internal. Fear, self-doubt, and a lack of belief in your potential can keep you from aiming higher. But the moment you start challenging those thoughts, you open the door to greater possibilities. Thinking bigger also means surrounding yourself with ideas, people, and environments that inspire growth. Look for role models who have achieved what you aspire to. Study their journeys, learn from their strategies, and let their success remind you that big dreams are achievable. Commit to continuous learning and expose yourself to new perspectives that push you to think beyond your current limits. Training your mind to think bigger is a process. It starts with small, intentional steps toward expanding your perspective. As you begin to achieve goals that once felt out of reach, your confidence will grow, and so will your capacity to dream even bigger. This cycle of growth and ambition fuels a mindset where no goal seems unattainable, and the life you once thought impossible becomes your reality.